I got the wrong crap. You know something? It all leads down the wrong road. Okay? Get used to doing things right, and that's what I like about this. We never had any issues. We blew the whistle, everybody hustled over here, everybody went over here, you did your drills, you got full speed. If you didn't, we coached the heck out of you. And I'm going to tell you something. You know, sometimes you got to get upset with the coach and things. We try to run this camp just like if you were a Florida State football player. Give you an impression of what it'd be like to play here, but also what we expect and what you're capable of doing. From an effort standpoint, from a toughness standpoint, from a discipline standpoint. Everybody's abilities vary. Those are gifts that God has blessed you with. That's your ability. Your attitude is your choice. The way you go about your business, the things you do. And I'm going to tell you something. You will never be successful. You will never be good if your attitude is not right. Make no mistake about it. And the day of that guy involved is fading quickly. The NFL is now, and they're the best thing. Now that they're not rewarding that guy, it filters all the way down. To college, to high school, to Pop Warner, to Optimus, whatever league you play. I'll tell you this. You guys did something this week that you don't even realize. You think you went to camp and you got better, yes. But you know what you did? You took a step of dedicating yourself to a cause and something you love to do. Now, some of y'all may be pro players or college players. Some of you may be great high school players. Some of y'all may be just backups in high school. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is. But you took a step today as a person to say, you know something? I'm committed to something. I'm willing to go pay and work and do some extra things that maybe the other guys on my team aren't willing to do. And that's the first step to being good, guys. It's the first step to being good. I tell our guys, here's a platform that we try to have here at Florida State. The three main things we want to do. First is develop the person. I tell our players I want them to have two abilities when they leave here. Okay? Accountability and dependability. That's the two abilities I want them to have. Because if you don't have those two abilities, everything else in life is going to be unattainable. I promise you. Everybody says, Coach, getting education is the most important thing. I don't believe that. I think being a good person, developing your skills as a human being, being able to communicate, being able to be accountable, being able to be dependable, having God in your life, being able to go to church, do the things you got to do. Understand it's cool to do things right, guys. You don't have to do things wrong to get it with you. If you're accountable and dependable, you have a chance in this world. Second, I tell our guys to get a great education, because it's going to open up more doors and give you opportunities down the road that you will never have. But I'm going to tell you this, if you're not an accountable and dependable person, you're not going to go to class, you're not going to go to study hall, you're not going to use tutors, you're not going to read extra in English, do extra math problems if you got to do it, because you don't care and you're not accountable for what you're supposed to be doing. But education, guys, being a good person and being a great student. Now, some guys get A's, some guys get B's, some guys get C's. And then that goes back to ability again. Be the best you can be. That's what we ask you to do. Because I'm going to tell you something. I believe this wholeheartedly. Talent wins games. Character wins championships. Character wins championships. And what you do off the field is a direct reflection of what you do on the field. Make no mistake about it. Don't say, well, I'm not going to do this. When I get on the field, I'll do what I'm supposed to do. Or I'm not going to do it in practice. I'll do it in the game. Full blown. Doesn't work that way, guys. Because you know what you're doing every day? You're creating habits for yourself. You create habits of not doing what you're told to do. Whether it's clean your room, wash the dishes, mow the yard, trim the yard, wash your clothes, pick your room up, make the bed, go to class, study, whatever it may be, guys. You either do it or you don't. And you create habits. And I'll tell you this, when pressure comes in your life, when pressure comes in a game, your habits and your day-to-day habits will come straight to the surface. Who you are, because you're worried about the pressure. And the pressure, it overcomes you, and what you do on a day-to-day basis jumps right through the ceiling. When you're used to doing what's right, you can do it over, and I'm going to tell you something. It ain't whether you can do it once, it ain't whether you can do it twice, it ain't whether you can do it 3 times. How many times in a row can you do what's right and what you're coached to do? That goes back to being a good person and taking pride in things you may not like. I'll bet if I took a poll right here, 90% of y'all like ball because you like have no problem with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But understand something. You can't have one without the other. And there's a saying I tell our players around here all the time. Boys do what they want to do. Men do what they got to do. Okay? What I mean, whatever you become a man, and first thing y'all get jumped on. Some coach jumps on you, teacher gets on you. Because they disrespected me. Treat me like a man. Treat me like a man. I'm gonna act like one. You know, I tell our guys, act like one. It's up to you. Because when you learn to get good at things you don't like to do, but you have to do, that's called maturity. That's called growing up. That's called becoming a man. You'll get treated like a man. And you guys that come late, the teacher don't like me. She don't want to help me. She don't want to give me the grade. Well, she ain't gonna give you any grade. She won't work with me. When I ask our players all the time. And then, Coach, I was just 5 minutes late. I said, you come to our meeting 5 minutes late? No. Why? Because you'll be mad you won't play. That's disrespect, right? We talk about it all the time with our players. But you'll disrespect the teacher by going 5 minutes late. Because it's not a priority to you. Guess what? It's got to be a priority to you. Every time I get those reports, every play. You see guys out here all the time, you say, I ain't go play that guy. He's a great player. He's got all this. He's got all that. Well, you know what? I know what he'll do when pressure comes. It isn't about talent, guys. You can shake a tree and get 100 guys out there that got talent. Who can handle pressure? Who's willing to do what's right? Who's willing to sacrifice for the betterment of the team to do what they got to do? That's what a champion is. That's what character. You want to put rings on your fingers? You want to have championships? Do what's right. Do what's right. It's not brain surgery. I tell you what, we got a lot of teams. I'll tell you all our teams. Okay? I'll give you the whole list of them. Okay? Don't embarrass yourself. Don't embarrass your family. Don't embarrass the organization. That's simple. You know what's right. You know what's wrong. Every decision you make, guys, like listening, you make a decision right now to listen to me or not listen to me. Maybe you don't want to, but you know what? You may get something out of it. Every decision you make, man, understand this. The power of making decisions is the greatest power you have in your life. Because you know why? It determines what happens to you. Every decision you make has a consequence good. Every decision has a consequence bad. And when you make it, you live it. You live it. And every time you understand, well, Coach, I couldn't control that. They did that. The guys I was with, they did that, so I went. No, you don't. You had the decision to walk away. You had the decision to do extra study. You had the decision to do your homework. You had the decision to work extra on your back pedal, on your catching, on your block, whatever it may be. Every decision you make tells me a story about what you are. It tells me who you are. Don't let people make decisions for you, guys, no matter what your circumstance. Whether it's the perfect home life or not, it doesn't matter, guys. You have the power to make the right decision. You know what's right. Because let me tell you why? Because everything you do wrong, you don't want somebody to find out. If you don't want the coach to know you did it, or your parents to know you did it, or your girlfriend to know you did it, or your mom, anybody, guess what? You're probably doing the wrong thing. Don't do it. It's that simple. We all control what happens. I'm going to say something else. Life ain't fair. Do y'all understand that? Sometimes bad things happen to good people. That's life. Don't blame nobody. Don't look at nobody. Evaluate the situation in the moment. Everything's not fair in this world, guys. I wish it was. I wish everything was. It's just not right. That's life. That's the way the good Lord made it. Because He tests you every day. But you can do right and something bad happens to you, it's not an excuse to go do something wrong. Learn to be a good guy. Learn to be a good person. Guess what? You become a better student. You'll become a better player. You'll work harder. You'll take pride in what you do. And guess, if you take your ability as far as some of y'all go, as far as you can go, big deal. Then whatever else you do, you'll be good at it because you've developed that habit of who you are. Because human beings were creatures of habit. And you know what the creatures are? Take the easy way out. Human nature is to do the easy thing, guys. You know why? That's only why there's one champion here. If winning was easy, everybody do it. If being successful was easy, everybody do it. It's not easy. And when you understand that, you will be more successful because expect it to be hard. Expect it to be tough. Because then when it is, that's what you expect, and you work through it. If you're on top of it, it's easy, move right on through it. When you don't think things are going to be hard, it's like when you get beat in the game, get upset. I think I got this, and we're better than them. You go in, you're not ready, all of a sudden it is, you panic, game's over, you get beat. Happens to everybody, happens to us all, everybody. I forget it all the time. Life. Expect math to be hard, expect English to be hard, expect science to be hard. Expect doing what's right to be hard. Walk away from the guy who's smoking the joint. Walk away from the guy who's selling drugs. Walk away from the guy who's drinking beer and selling you alcohol. Walk away from him. Like I tell our guys in the end, Coach, I don't want to be one of those. I don't want to hurt my boys. I don't want to be away from my boys. Guess what? I asked those guys again, you want to get drafted in the first round? Yeah. I asked them, how many guys go across the stage with you when they call you out and you're by yourself? If you can't learn to be by yourself and stand on your own and make right decisions, you're going to have, wait till you're a husband. Wait till you're a father. Wait till you're in charge of something.